Hi.
So, what made you decide to write a book for teachers?
Well, I have to say it was a teacher that completely changed my life. So as you know, I failed grade 11 math twice and I was always told I just wasn't a math person and I believed that. And after barely scraping by in summer school, I ended up with the most amazing teacher in grade 12. I walked into her classroom and I said to her, "You're going to have a lot of trouble with me. I'm not a math person." And she looked at me and said, "That's not a thing." And my entire life changed. I ended up with a 98% in grade 12 math. I went on to become a math teacher. But more importantly, the seed was planted of, oh my God, I've gone through my whole life thinking I'm not a math person. What other limiting beliefs do I have that have been holding me back? And I just think teachers have the most incredible opportunity to show students that they're more capable of math than they've been led to believe. And it's a gift and it's life changing far beyond the classroom.
So, let's talk about your title of the book because a lot of people might use the term math anxiety, but you actually say math trauma. What's meant by
Mhm.
that?
So, math anxiety we're very familiar with, but that's kind of the symptom. It's like, you're short of breath, you blank out, you feel really nervous. Math trauma is often what's underlying that math anxiety. And, I know people are kind of like, what trauma? That seems so dramatic. But the way I want us to understand math trauma, all it is a negative experience with math that sticks with you long after the experience is over. Maybe you were told you weren't a math person, that you didn't get the math gene, that you're not as fast as a sibling, that you know what, don't even bother. You have other strengths, work on those, that you got the right answer, but you got it the right way, the wrong way, so it's not valid. These things stick with us. And I know a lot of adults listening probably feel this, and they prevent us from being open to learn. We shut down, we decide math is something we can't do, and we shut ourselves off from it. And I think it's not that I want everyone to go out there and take a calculus class. That's not it. I want all of us roaming the earth thinking, you know what? Of course I can do math. I'm doing math already every day. It's a capacity thing. It's about limiting beliefs and not thinking we are born at a deficit when it comes to math, because that is simply untrue.
It's so interesting too because there's just something about arithmetic that also somehow socially defines what's being quote unquote smart is, and somehow that then can be used against you, right? Like where you, I think a lot of people feel embarrassed. And then that stays with you. I don't know if that resonates with you at all, given that you
Oh,
were told you're not a math person.
well, I thank you so much for bringing that up. I talk about this a lot in the book. We use math as the measure of intelligence. We don't call Picasso smart, or Mozart, right? We use these other words, talented, this, that. It's always math that makes you smart. So what happens is we build up this shame around it. And I'm really glad you brought it up, because to me, it's not about the math. It's about the sense of self-worth that we lose when we think we can't do this thing that is used to define intelligence, which, by the way, is nonsense. Like, there's no reason for math to make you any smarter. It's just a skill, right? Like, but because of the weight it holds and because of all the fear of, oh, the STEM jobs and you need math to be successful and this and that, it really harms kids when they think that it's something that they're born unable to do.
Yeah, agreed. So, what are some of the strategies then to get over some of that? Like you lay out in your book to help teachers support students who, in creating a more positive relationship with math, especially those that already might be feeling sort of insecure about it.
Mhm. And I also want to point out, this book is designed for teachers, but any parent can use this book because there is no strategies. I mean, you might love math, but if you don't, none of these strategies involve math. They're all about mindset. So two of the things I'll bring up, first of all, we need to stop with the whole point of math is to get the right answer. Okay. Like there's so much pressure. Think about it. Think about us as adults in life. We are faced with problems every day. Often, like, I don't know, the sink breaks. We get in a fight with a friend. Like we have to pick up our kid and our car breaks down. I don't know, whatever it is. You often don't know that you're going to get to the right answer. You just know that you need to try something immediately. Often we try a whole bunch of things before the problem is solved. The coolest thing you can do is if a kid brings home a test and they get the wrong answer, or if you're a teacher and a kid is not getting the right answer, stop and say, okay, you're not on track to get the right answer, but I love the way you're thinking right now. I've never seen anyone think like that. Can you explain to me what the thought process is? Or to say, okay, you've made this really interesting mistake. I actually would love for you to explain how you made that mistake. I've never seen anything like it. That allows kids to embrace one of the key things in math. You're going to get the wrong answer more than you're going to get the right answer. So you've got to feel confident enough to say, I might get the answer wrong, but the process is what I'm really interested in. And so I think emphasizing that thinking is more important than getting the right answer is the first thing. Number two, and I'll say this quick, brain science. We think 90,000 thoughts a day and only 10% of them are conscious thoughts. That means 81,000 thoughts are from the day before. So if you're sitting there thinking, I'm bad at math, I suck at math, I can't do math, there's no point in trying, you can't learn. So one of the most important things parents and teachers can do is help kids befriend those thoughts, identify those thoughts, and rewire those thoughts. So next time they think, this is too hard, I can't do it. Instead, what about thinking, this is so hard, but I've done hard things before. And that mindset piece is so, so important and something that all of us can start focusing on.
Anything to leave us with this morning? If someone still says, it sounds good, but I've got all this anxiety and dread. And how would you encourage maybe a student to have that relationship with a teacher, to even go to a teacher after and say, can you help me in a different way? Because I'm still not getting it. And actually, if I'm honest, I'm stressed about it.
I love that. First of all, say that. That's an amazing thing to say. But here's what
My
I'll say.
sister's a math teacher.
So
she's taught me a thing or two as well.
I think one of the most important things for students is to go into class with the idea that the only reason you're there is to learn more about yourself as a problem solver. This is an incredible opportunity. Math is the means, it's the gateway, but in life, we're going to have a ton of problems we don't know how to solve. So what about going into class and using this as an opportunity to learn about different ways to solve problems, what your reactions are when you feel scared or ashamed? Where is that coming from? Really get to know yourself in this low stakes way. Because in life, these are the skills you're going to want and need, and math is just a way to get you there.
I personally speaking, I have to say, I think I've spent my whole life understanding. I'm great at understanding percentages. I'm terrible at doing long division. And I'm like, how can I get around a math problem using the skill that I'm good at and maybe trying to avoid the one I'm not as strong at? But
that is a skill.
It's worked.
That's amazing. And that, first of all, no one needs long division. I'm just going to say that publicly. But
not in 2024. Yeah.
Don't cancel me. But seriously, that's what I'm talking about, is that idea of getting to know yourself. I'm horrible at spatial reasoning. Like, you don't want to be in a car with me. I'm a very safe driver, everyone. But I mean, you don't want to watch me parallel park. The point is, we all have skills and strengths, and we can all strengthen the ones that are weaker. But we also get to choose what we focus on. And we need to celebrate all the ways that we're good at math, not just the narrowly defined ones like arithmetic and algebra and speed. We're all doing math every single day. Embrace that and just realize that there's no such thing as a math person.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. Appreciate it. And good luck with your book and with the school year.
Thank you for having me.